Hey YouTube, today we're going to be talking about my soil and my sip container. I'm going to go through, we're going to dump it out, see what's going on inside. I'm going to take and amend the soil with some amendments, and then some peat moss, some sphagnum peat moss. There's some earthworm castings in here, and then we're going to fill up these other pots a little bit later with everything after I mix it all together so I can have my next grow in these 9 3-gallon pots. All right, so here's the what we're going to use today. I got some earthworm castings, Dr. Earth's homegrown, Dr. Earth's flower grill. This is one of my favorites. It's kind of hard to find, but it's great. Picked up some bone meal, and then Roots Organics, calcium magnesium. I love that stuff. And then I got the sphagnum peat moss. And then all right, so with my container of soil here, it's full of, still got a bunch of bugs in it. It's been sitting dormant for a week in the garage just after we harvested. But it's got my own compost, some old soil that I had that was cocoa and Happy Frog mix, and then I've added different amendments. But I've also, with some of my compost that I made, ended up using just some of the topsoil here. And so what I found after using it, it's just super dense. It's not wicking the water up like it's supposed to into the top. So this is a lot drier than I want it to be. Like, this shouldn't be, all this should be moist up top, even though it's been a week. My other container, it's all still moist up top. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dump this out, and we're gonna look at the root systems from these, see how they've gone, how well they've established further down. And that one's still in there. This one's almost come out too. All right, this one came all the way out. That's from the cup. You would think that it would have made a better root ball, but apparently I waited too long for transplant. All right, so back to what I was saying about this not wicking the water like it should, is there's still a few gallons of water in the bottom here. I don't know if you can see the water coming out there, but I got to drain all that because it's been stagnant and it's not been wicking like it's supposed to. So that's the whole point of the peat moss today. All right, so like I was saying earlier, I got the water draining out of my tub over there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take and break up all the chunks that are in these pots, any big chunks that's going to be in that. And then, so what this is a I don't know, some kind of door with a 1/2-inch square screen on it. It's I don't know, yeah, about a 1/2 inch to where it'll just break up all the big chunks, all these chunks, any large chunks that are in my potting soil, any big chunks of wood that it could be in my tote over there. All right, let's get to breaking some of this up. All right, I'm not going to bore you guys with watching me go through all these tubs real quick, but I'll update you as soon as I'm done. All right, y'all, I'm going to do one more of these 3-gallon containers on camera for you because I kind of figured out something that kind of works pretty good. I don't know. But instead of just dumping it all out on here, what I'm doing is taking it and just kind of grating it back and forth. Works really good for drier soils. This particular pot's a little on the moist side. Got all these big chunks still on the bottom, so just work it through. That's why I'm screening this, just to get rid of all those big chunks so it can mix better with everything else. So get everything aerated. Look for little pieces of microplastic that gets stuck in the compost for whatever reason. And then if you find larger sticks, sometimes you can twist them and shred them up. Those are great. Big chunks put over here. All right, y'all, here comes the fun part. About to dump this out and see how the root structure is and see what's going on inside. Take out the fill pipe of the reservoir. Pretty good. I've had it to where these, I just grab them and twist, it pulls right out. Nice. That means that everything that's living in this soil bed is doing its job. All right, here we go. All right. I'll grab the camera here. We can talk about what I see. Alright, so we got some of this very wet root mass. Looks like it was down at the very bottom, which is good. That means it was in the actual water reservoir down here. I don't know, it smells a little anaerobic, meaning there isn't much oxygen in here. And as you can see, there's barely any roots. Hardly any roots at all come through here. This should be full of roots. If I look over here, look. Here's all the roots. They're all just sitting on top of here. It's good that see that particular sleeve, that's where it's supposed to wick up the water, the roots. Made that nice and solid. They made that one nice and solid. That's the only two spots where the water actually wicks up through. But what I'm seeing here is my soil's pretty good. It's just, it doesn't wick like it should. Because the top was very dry. Like the top of this is all, it's not too bad, but the bottom is just soaking wet. Let's see. Well, it seems about accurate, but there hasn't been much in here there hasn't been any growth in here, any live plants for over a week. Yeah, it's pretty good, but for whatever reason, it's just not the best texture, I guess. I don't know, it never wicked up as good as my Roots Organic potting mix. So now we're gonna take all this screened sphagnum peat moss and we're gonna go and mix it in with this. I'll probably screen this out real quick, make sure there's no big chunks, that way it all mixes together. And once I get all those two combined, I guess I should add those two at the same time. Okay, I'll come back when I'm adding the different ingredients. All right, I already found something cool. So this is what I pushed out of this hole here. Just came out in a whole sleeve. It is just thick, wet, anaerobic. Oh, look, a worm. Ooh, there's a bunch of worms. Nice. All right, so this very wet anaerobic area is perfect for these worms to live in. Let's check this one. See, look how it's coming out. You can see the different little worm tubes. It's just solid mud. So worms love that, but it's not doing, see, look, it's just wet. See the water coming out of it? So that's what I'm trying to avoid. It's not wicking the water from the bottom to the top. So that's the whole purpose of what we're doing today, is to avoid this sludge buildup. All right. All right. So I added a total of 9 of those pots worth of sphagnum peat moss to my pile, total of sphagnum peat moss. That way I have enough for my pots. I'm not trying to do too much peat moss into my soil, but I want to do enough, but I don't want to end up with too much. So I still have about, I don't know, maybe another 9 gallons of peat moss still in the bag. But right now I'm going to get in and add all my different amendments. So right now, the soil that was in my container was about 3 cubic feet or 21 gallons. I've since added 9 pots worth of 3 cubic feet, so another 21 gallons. So I should have a total of 42 gallons of soil here. And that's what I'm going to use for calculating all my different amendments that I'm going to add in. All right, I'll let you know what I'm going to add and how much. All right, so after going through everything, I'm going to use this whole bag of earthworm castings. Apparently it's not enough. The Dr. Earth's, what is that? Homegrown. We're doing half a cup for 5 gallons. The Roots Organic Elemental CalMag, we're doing 2 teaspoons per gallon. I might do a little less. And then same with the bone meal. I believe it's half a teaspoon per gallon. All right, I will show you me mixing this up and everything in the pile. Here we go. All right, after doing a bunch of random math now, using the whole bag of this, I needed half a cup per 5 gallons, and I have 42 gallons, so half a cup per 5 gallons, I have 42 gallons, so 40 divided by 5 is 8 cups that I would need, and then so 8 cups, 1 cup is 8 ounces, and that's a 4-pound bag, so I need the whole bag, is basically what I'm saying. And then with the Roots Organic, that one, I'm using half a cup total, and then the Burpee bone meal, I'm using half a cup total. All right, here we go. And if this is too hot, well, I guess that's too bad. But I doubt it, because that's a lot of soil. This is the bone meal. And this is the cow mag. This stuff blows away like crazy. All right. I gotta get everything off this tarp. You know what? That includes you. You gotta get out of the way. So I can mix. Half an avocado. Yeah. Other ways I've seen people do this is using a cement mixer. Just a Harbor Freight cheap cement mixer. Just shovel everything in there, let it go. So this is a little back-breaking work here. It's a little hard. What is that? Oh, that's that avocado pit I talked about. One thing I forgot to mention is in that soil that I pushed out of the tubes, I found a bunch of worms in there, so I decided to just put them in here. And when I go to put the soil in the big container, I'll put the worms in there too. Do your best to keep all the soil on the tarp so you're not wasting money. Alright, that's it. At least for mixing. Next I'll show potting these up, putting soil back in the big container. Alright, I got one more thing to talk about. And I'll have to bring you up close for this one. Is making sure that your soil is moist enough, but not too moist. This feels really good. But you want to make sure you do a squeeze test. You want to grab a chunk, squeeze it as hard as you can, and see if water comes out. I'm not seeing any water, but it did stay kind of clumpy. Nope. And making sure that you get it even is the hard part. Kind of clumpy. Still no moisture coming out, so I gotta add some more water to it and mix it up. About a gallon and a half from what I was rinsing out the bottom of this tub, making sure it was clean. I'm going to do all that mixing all over again. See where it's nice and wet, where it's all clumpy. See where it's dry. You guys don't need to watch me do that. All right. Some say dechlorinate your water. I say, oh well. There. No drips. Stays together. Tiny little drip. Stays together. Perfect. Tamp. Not too tight, not too loose. It wicks better this time. It's light, it's fluffy. Not nearly as dense as it was. It smells amazing. Really amendments, bone meal, cow mag, all that Dr. Earth smells good. Soil, forest, just very satisfying. So again, all these are going to have clones in them. What I showed you in my video of my cloner, obviously I had to empty it for the video, but those are ready to get transplanted. Flipped. Nice. Okay. All right. Got my container. Got the drain hole on this side. So that's the front. Bottom here. This notch for this fill tube. The notch goes on the side with the drain hole. Tube on into the notch, like so. Then we're going to pack these full and we're going to press them pretty tight. Scoop in each. Press it down with your knuckles. Nice and snug. Obviously you're not compacting it with a machine, but there you go. Looks like that. Very solid. Now we fit. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but that's what I got. I don't want to use a shovel and accidentally tear my tarp. Got this tarp for a while. Really tarp, best tarp. Any of you that has a bad back, I don't recommend doing this. My back's not bad, but it's killing me now. Okay. Lightly tamp. And I mean light. Just enough to have it stay in place. This is the all the worms, a really muddy bit. I'm going to put it down in the middle. So then worms will have a nice happy home. Oh look, I forgot I got the little spot. containers, you can go all the way flush if you want to. I usually go about ½ an inch down, because eventually you'll top dress in here. You'll add different things, so you'll eventually build this up. All right, you guys. I think that's it for today. I don't know. I guess if you got any questions, just ask them in the comments or whatever. So like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.